as the sun set over the war-torn battlefield, casting a golden glow over the ravaged landscape. Captain Jameson stood at the edge of the trenches, his eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of movement. It was a habit he'd developed over the years, one that had saved his life more times than he could count. But tonight, it wasn't the enemy he was worried about. It was the warning he'd received from a trusted informant. A warning that spoke of a lost artifact, one that could change the course of the war forever. The informant, a grizzled old soldier named Marcus, had approached Jameson in secret, his voice low and urgent. "Captain, I've heard rumors of a relic hidden deep within enemy territory. They call it the Heart of Valor, and it's said to grant its wielder unimaginable power." Marcus's eyes had locked onto Jameson's, his gaze burning with intensity. "You have to find it, Captain. If it falls into the wrong hands, the war is lost." Jameson had always been a man of duty, bound by a strong sense of honor and loyalty to his country. But the war had taken its toll, and he'd begun to question the true cost of his actions. Was it worth fighting for a cause that seemed to have lost its way? The thought of the Heart of Valor, however, had sparked something within him, a sense of purpose, of redemption. He knew he had to find it, no matter the cost. With a deep breath, Jameson set off into the unknown, his footsteps echoing through the deserted trenches. He moved swiftly, his senses on high alert as he navigated the treacherous terrain. The enemy was everywhere, and he knew he couldn't trust anyone. As he walked, the landscape shifted and changed, the ruins of buildings giving way to a desolate wasteland. Jameson pressed on, driven by a fierce determination. Days turned into weeks, and Jameson faced countless challenges along the way. He battled raging sandstorms, treacherous terrain, and even a pack of vicious wild animals. But he refused to give up, his resolve strengthened by the thought of the Heart of Valor. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, he saw it, a towering structure in the distance, its entrance guarded by a pair of imposing stone statues. As Jameson approached, a figure emerged from the shadows, a woman with piercing green eyes and raven black hair. She was dressed in a flowing white robe, and a golden circlet adorned her brow. "Welcome, Captain," she said, her voice like music. "I've been expecting you. My name is Arya, and I am the guardian of the Heart of Valor." Jameson drew his pistol, his finger tightening on the trigger. But Arya didn't flinch. Instead, she smiled, her eyes glinting with amusement. "You're not here to kill me, Captain," she said. "You're here to claim the Heart of Valor. But first, you must prove yourself worthy." Arya led Jameson through a series of trials, each one designed to test his courage, his wits, and his honor. Jameson faced his fears, overcame impossible odds, and emerged victorious at every turn. Finally, Arya presented him with the Heart of Valor, a glowing crystal that pulsed with an otherworldly energy. But as Jameson reached out to claim it, Arya's expression turned somber. "The true test is not in possessing the Heart of Valor, Captain," she said. "It's in what you do with it. Will you use its power to further the war? Or will you use it to bring peace?" Jameson hesitated, his mind racing with the implications. And in that moment of hesitation, Arya vanished, leaving him alone with the artifact. As Jameson stood there, the weight of the Heart of Valor in his hands, he realized that the true enemy wasn't the one he'd been fighting all along. It was the darkness within himself, the doubt and the fear. He knew that he couldn't use the Heart of Valor to further the war. It would only perpetuate the cycle of violence. Instead, he chose to use its power to bring people together, to forge a new path forward. And as he did, the war-torn battlefield began to transform around him. The ruins began to heal. The skies cleared, and a sense of hope dawned on the horizon. Jameson stood tall, the Heart of Valor glowing brightly in his hand, and knew that he'd finally found his true purpose. He was no longer just a soldier, he was a symbol of hope. A beacon of light in a world torn apart by conflict.